We're into the Q&A session now. We have a number of questions in the chat, and thanks everyone for engaging with us on this. So the first question for you, Emer, how has the COVID-19 pandemic affected the number of people using library services and the range of services offered? So maybe you'd like to take that.
Yeah, it's a very interesting one. Thanks, Nolene. It's been a challenge, but I think library services massively pivoted their delivery to really embrace the virtual and online. Just a few kind of headline points really would be that nationally we had approximately 300,000 new temporary online memberships, which was massively significant. Here in Offaly ourselves, I suppose, just to mention, we've already up to October, have issued over 580,000 items or had downloads from our digital library services. And maybe just to put that in context, last year in Offaly, our issues would have been about 182,000, but of that, we had about 31,000 e-issues. So we've actually gone massively above when you think of the NOAC indicators in terms of e-issues this year. So just in Offaly, 586,000 issues is quite significant. The service itself, there has been, due to public health guidelines, we have had to step back things like study space provision, community events, which would normally be massive bread and butter factors within the library environment. However, we have rolled out other innovative services such as contact and collect, and again, a big shout out to colleagues around the country. This has been hugely successful. In Offaly alone, we've issued over 15,000 items just since June. We've also operated a browse and PC by appointment service across 6 of our 8 libraries, and we've had over 70,000 attendees to that service. So, we've moved very much into a different mode of service delivery, but no less valuable a mode of service delivery, where the skill set of librarians has been most important. And we've really invested in staff training into areas like blogging, social media development, and online programming. So the National Storytime initiatives of Spring into Storytime and other various right to read actions such as Summer Stars have seen huge engagement from the public. Ourselves here in Offaly, again, going back to the local experience, we have more than doubled our social media following, and our posts and engagement have just gone through the roof. So it's a very different type of service, but no less valuable a service. And we've certainly found that our users have they want the book, don't get me wrong, they want the traditional book, but they have also adapted, as we all have in this kind of new era, to a virtual experience. So I think in the future, a blended approach will really be the way that we go in all of this. And it's been quite exciting, actually.
Thanks. Thanks for that, Emer. I know I've presented a few times over the last 6 or 7 months about innovation during COVID, and every time the borrow box comes up as a blessing, and so many people are grateful for it. I'll move on now maybe to Tom. Tom, James from Longford asks, what KPIs have had the biggest impact on delivering performance improvements? And John from Kildare asking, how difficult was data collection to support the KPIs? So maybe I might ask Michael to come in on this as well after Tom. Thanks.
Thanks, Nolene, and thanks, James, for the question. I think, as I said, the revenue collection has had the biggest, effect because it's helped us come out of a lot of financial difficulties where we had a large deficit, and at a time when we wanted to try and invest, as I said, in a lot of economic and community infrastructure in the county. So I think the commitment there by the staff given to improve those KPIs was hugely important. And one aspect as well as of that is we took the housing debt collection out of housing and put that into finance, because housing were hugely busy with delivering housing services and debt collection wasn't always their priority. But by moving that into finance, where you had a team of people that were already doing a lot of debt collection, I think it streamlined that process and helped a lot. So I think that one is the one that really helped us. We have, not all of our KPIs are excellent. We still have some improvements to make on some of them. But I think we have made significant improvement on a number of key ones that we felt were important.
Okay.
Okay, thanks a million for that, Tom. Just Michael, I wonder if Michael is there on the line, if you have any comment to make regarding the use of the key performance indicators and Wexford's example, and if there was anything you wanted to add. Okay, maybe he's not available on the call. Just to move on, Jason, what do you see as any other emerging applications of drones in Wicklow County Council?
I suppose, look, the use of drones is endless. Again, we're in a phase where this technology is now coming in. It's only new and it's starting to be used within a wide application. Again, I suppose I'll refer back to Emily. Even though it's a life-saving sort of type of platform, at the end of the day, with the side sonar capability, this can be utilised to assist, I suppose, the council engineers to, I suppose, review the integrity of bridge pylons, dam wall structures, anything that needs to be questioned in that aspect. Again, by doing that, you'll be able to, again, it's giving the operators that training aspect which they're going to be need. Again, I think the uses are endless. I just had a message come up saying that the Wi-Fi played up.
No, it's fine, Jason, that was fine. I think we got most of that. Okay, another question there for libraries about risk assessments, Emer, and interested to know more on risk assessments, fire evacuation procedures. Are they available?
Hi there. Yeah, I think this question came in from Catherine in Cork. Yes, they are, and we'd be happy to share them. I suppose it's worth noting that obviously every building is different. So, and the service evolves and develops year on year. So we're very mindful to review all our risk assessments on an annual basis and to, incorporate any changes or developments or change practices. In terms of the My Open Library service model, there is a strong camera and speaker technological input, so that if a fire alarm activates, there is strong messaging that happens in the library when there are no staff present, when it is in mall mode, to direct people out fire exits and ensure, to progress that notification to our users out the door. We also do a very detailed induction with every new My Open Library member. And again, that's something that is reviewed periodically, and they are run through fire evacuation procedures. All users are asked to have their mobile phones on them at all times. And they are inducted through the building. So yes, they're most important documents, and I would be happy to share anything that might assist other counties in progressing the service themselves. That would be no problem.
Okay, and just finally now, before we go to a quick break, there was a question there, Jason, about the dreaded word, data protection. I think you've addressed that in your in your presentation, but has the Data Commissioner approved the DPIA prepared for the drone, and were any issues raised by the Data Commissioner?
Again, so with the use of the drone, especially within the side of the GDPR, again, we have to operate under that policy, which is developed and put out through our technical department in Phoenix Park and through Civil Defence. So they're the governing body for us, and our pilots are trained in line with it. I'll probably put it, to be honest, at the end of the day, we will be deployed. If we're going to hit record on that camera, it is due to the fact that we've been deployed for a specific purpose. Now, if we've been put out for a search with a missing person, we come across a body and we have to record that for the guards. At the end of the day, once that craft is landed, we'll review that with the requesting organisation. As I said, the vehicle that we have that deploys with the aircraft has a TV in it, and the footage is reviewed there. At the end of the day, the memory card that is used within the craft is taken out and then handed over to the requesting authority. So the way that I've had feedback from Phoenix Park is we'll only capture if required. And again, it's just not the sake of putting the craft up and recording for the sake of recording. if there is recording to be done, it is for a general purpose. And again, I suppose if with the aircraft at the height it's at, we're really not recording any personal details. The one thing I have had this discussion with a few of the members in the council is one of the things I'm going to be developing here is a chain of custody form that if we have recorded and we have handed that memory card over to the requesting authority, we will then have a paper trail to say that who signed for it and that they're responsible for it, and then we release ownership of it.